All right, welcome back to the Delusional Fan with Geraghty and McCloud. Chris Geraghty here. That right there is Ryan McCloud. How's it going this week, folks? Ryan, how you doing?
Doing good.
Good?
Yep.
All right.
I've recovered.
Have you?
Yeah, I've recovered.
Yeah. Rough weekend for both of us. It seems that I think we both took this weekend pretty hard. I mean,
initially, yeah. I've been good since the day after. I mean, it's week 2. But yes, it's not fun watching your team play like shit, right?
well, yeah. You know what? Let's just get into that right away. I was going to wait on that, but let's just... So, we'll start with the Bears, playing a rookie quarterback in Carson Wentz, playing a Philadelphia Eagles team with a new coaching staff, really a team of players you weren't sure about, right?
Right.
And they come in and pretty much blow out the Bears. Now, it's not like they were scoring at will. You know, the Bears defense held them to field goals pretty much for the most of the first half, but the Bears offense, again, just looked anemic. Couldn't get anything going. Monday Night Football, you think they'd want to make a showing of it.
Right.
Carson Wentz still played pretty well. He had a touchdown pass, 190 yards. But
He looked good, man.
He did. He looked good for a rookie playing.
Yeah. I'm impressed with his... Everybody keeps bringing up the poise, but it was pretty, obvious watching the game. It was pretty evident that he is comfortable with this, playing this position in this league.
I think what they're doing with him is also, okay, let's put it, so he's got Doug Peterson, who was a quarterback in the NFL for a long time.
Yep.
Not only was he a quarterback, he learned under Mike Holmgren, who was a quarterback guy.
Yep.
He learned under Andy Reid, who was a quarterback guy, and now he's brought that offense to Philadelphia. Plus, then he hired, was it Wright? Is their offensive guy? So, who is, again, NFL quarterback guy.
Yep.
So, Carson Wentz has a lot of support. And you can tell that it's helping.
They're not throwing a lot at him either. I think they're easing him along as a rookie in the league, which it still doesn't change the fact that, more than anything, it was him kind of hanging in there and taking shots while trying to go downfield, right? And not just throwing. I'm saying actually taking hits. I'm impressed with his composure more than anything.
And the numbers,
the
numbers could have been a lot better. He had 2 touchdown passes.
Yep. Big drops. Yep.
So I think Aguilar dropped one and Matthews both dropped one. So he looked great. Bears, on the other hand, though, Cutler, I'm done with. I was done with a couple years ago, but the thing is, I hope he doesn't come back as a
He also said at the beginning of the season that he'll have as many rings as Aaron Rodgers will have.
I did.
You still believe that?
No.
No.
Not when you take yourself out of a game for a sprained thumb.
Is that what it was? I didn't even pay attention to what he was injured by.
Sprained his thumb.
Sprained thumb. And McPhee got after him on the sidelines there, right?
Purnell grabbed him.
Did that come out as to what he was jawing at him?
Just jawing at him for not being a leader, not playing in the game.
Yeah, it looked like he was telling him to wake up.
Yeah.
He's like, wake up, dude. So yeah, there's a lot of Jay Cutler is truly he's like this mystery in the NFL. Like, he's been a starter in the NFL for 11 years.
Every year he's been in the
league. And every year is it time to go? Is it time to look a different direction? Is it time to move on from Jay Cutler? I would hope, for your guys' sake, that it's not this time. It's going into week 3 next season, and you're saying, is it time to get away from Jay?
No, he's done that. This is last year.
I think so too, because they can opt out of his contract.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, what a weird era with him.
This is what Jay Cutler is. Jay Cutler is exactly the way he's been playing. Everybody thinks because the talent is there, meaning his arm talent and his leg talent, he's a big, strong guy.
Right.
So he has the same skill set everybody else.
He has this upside that is still...
So they think he should be more. I think what everybody comes down on him, but I think he is what he is. And so if you're going to have him as your quarterback, you have to do the Denver thing. You take your defense and you stack it up as best you can. Yep. Jay, for the most part, won't normally lose you games. But also, and the one thing he has been able to do is he's a good fourth quarter quarterback. He's always been able to do comebacks, or at least drive you down late in the fourth and score. Again, that's not the stuff that bothers me. I know what Jay is. But I defended him more than anybody when he came out of that NFC Championship game because, a torn MCL is not a joke. It just isn't. Mm-hmm. But people gave him crap because he pulled himself out of the game. And I'm thinking, well, you can't plant, you can't throw, right?
Sure.
Fine. I'll give you that one. Torn MCL is not a joke. This I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not playing the game. I don't know how bad his thumb hurts.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't grip the ball, it's almost the exact same thing. Yeah, if you can't plant and set and throw, then if you can't grip the ball and
But it's the mindset I don't like. The mindset that the team's better without me.
I think
because every other quarterback would have been, I'm playing until I get pulled, because no matter who the backup is, this team is better without me.
I think that's always been...
or better with
There's been other things, too. He's this weird... He's a mystery to me. I've never seen a guy who's... You just keep looking at his upside and what he could be, and there's always... It was a joke for me as a Packer fan in Chicago, hearing the masses talk about how every year, too, it was clockwork, where, yeah, he just needs some receivers, and then you got Jeffries, and then you got Marshall, and then he just needs an offensive line. You guys, before that, bulked up. You know what I mean? It was always an excuse to get him to the next level. He's missing this and that. He's missing an offensive guy. It never turns out, and I've stuck up for Jay too. I thought he could be good too, but Chuck Woodson said it best when he was on the Packers. Jay will be Jay. And he'll throw us the ball. He'll throw the opposite team the ball, and he clearly did that. The play he got injured, right?
Woodson said he would tell his guys before every game, if we don't get at least 2 from Jay, we're doing something wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he says he knows what he liked about Jay is the same. What he liked about Jay as a quarterback, he liked about playing against him, is he knows Jay's going to throw the ball into windows, hoping his guys are going to get it, but it's also going to give the defense chances.
Right.
So, but you know what? Now we're going to go into Jerry World, into Big D, playing. I wouldn't say that
is on the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's at Jerry World. Now I wouldn't say that Dallas is in any better shape because their defense is no good, and their rookie quarterback, rookie running back, but. They just seem to be more offensively dynamic with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, and they are, though. Yeah. I think Dak brings a different element, and when it comes back to the leader thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like those guys are already rallying behind Dak Prescott, and I don't know if anybody's ever really rallied behind Jay. It's always kind of gone into the season, he's our guy, he's the best talent we have at the spot, so he's our leader. It's never been rallying around the guy, though. He's got more support than any other quarterback in the league, and Dak Prescott does.
Yeah. And now we lost Trevathan too.
Yep, I saw that. So, by the way, Freeman is a killer for you guys.
He's awesome.
He's awesome.
I'm happy that I don't hate the defense.
Well. Yeah.
I don't hate the defense. The defense is, you can tell every week they get a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's the problem is the offense gets a little bit worse, and so that's never going to work. So, you know what? I don't even want to talk about them anymore for now. We'll get a little bit more into them in our D segment.
It didn't go too much better for us up north. So.
Green Bay. It wasn't a surprise that they lost because I knew the Vikings D was as good as they were. I've been saying it for 2 years. What surprised me, and I think surprised everybody, was how well Sam Bradford played and how poorly Rodgers handled the pressure of the Viking defense.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is that a good way to sum that up, you think?
Yes, only I'm not necessarily that surprised that he didn't... I got to phrase this right. I'm not surprised because that's kind of how you beat Rodgers in the past, is getting pressure on him, right? In terms of, I don't know. Again, it's hard to phrase it. I wasn't shocked that he struggled a little bit with the pressure. I'm concerned with how poorly the offense has looked as a whole for 15 games now, 14 games in a row now. There's something clearly off and wrong there. And I'm not... Look, you were actually irritating me during that game when I was texting you.
Why?
And I'm saying this in good fun, but...
I wasn't trying to throw jabs.
You weren't at all.
Oh, okay.
You just weren't acknowledging anything. That all I was trying to say was, this has been a problem for a long time now. And you were like, dude, Packer fans are the worst when they lose, and like, I can't believe you guys are crying about this. You're still in the game, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, that's beside the point. You as a Bear fan have every right to say that and feel that way about us.
Right, because you only lost by 3.
But as a Packers fan, that is very concerning, dude. And I have every right to be. And that's what I was going to say. Look, the sky isn't falling, right?
Yeah.
It's week 2. And I still think we're a good football team.
Well, he did his relaxed speech again already.
Did he? I didn't hear that.
He didn't say relax this time, but he's like, it's week 2.
Right.
Basically what you're saying. It's week 2. Don't panic. We'll get it together. You know, everybody stop jumping off the boat. You know, one of those speeches.
Look, again, while the season isn't a wash right now, it certainly is frustrating, and I think the frustration is very real, and I think it's validated. Again, looking back at the course of how last season ended, and how this season is starting. And I think the most frustrating part about it, as I've already kind of said here, is the lack in understanding of why. Like, why is this happening? Lack of a run game, sure, right? And Aaron hasn't played well.
Can I stop you
Sure,
quick?
yeah.
It's not lack of a run game. It's why it's again. This goes to coaching for me, and I'm not the McCarthy guy.
Yeah.
Why the hell is Randall Cobb and James Starks in the backfield ever?
Oh no!
No, ever.
Yeah. James Starks can bring a different element that Eddie can't. I'm okay with that.
The element you need is slamming Lacey up the middle.
And I was going to get to that.
To keep linebackers honest.
Well, right. And look, and I've stuck up for Eddie too in saying there's not much he can do when three guys are hitting him behind the line of scrimmage. What do you want a running back to do? The running game has struggled, though. It has.
It hasn't, though.
It has, though. And
Eddie's busted out some big runs.
He's had a couple. And look, besides that, I'm in full agreement with you in terms of this. You're not fooling anybody when you put Randall Cobb in the backfield and run it. There was like 2 times that it's worked since you've done it 3 years ago, and it's not working anymore.
No.
So and the worst part is when it's 3rd and 2, and we're bringing him in to do that.
Right.
Like then, yes, I'm in full agreement with you. Hand it off to the big guy. But with that being said, again, I don't think Eddie's fatter than he's ever been. Everybody always likes to ask me that. Like, you think he's lost weight? How do you think he looks? I think he looks fatter. I think he looks bigger than he's ever been. And hey, and mark my words, he will not be a Packer next year. He just won't be.
I think we talked about that a few shows ago, yeah.
It's there's something lacking there.
Can I break in here?
Sure, yeah.
So you know who Greg Cosell is for NFL Films?
Yes.
Greg Cosell is if you guys ever get a chance, you can read stuff on Greg and you can
he's a great
see him. What he does is he analyzes NFL films. Mm-hmm. He knows the game of football and he can tell you everything that's gone wrong. And he was talking about Aaron Rodgers yesterday. And what Greg Cosell said was what Rodgers tends to do, because people are always enamored by the way his escapability in the pocket.
Sure.
How aware he is. And that he can move outside the pocket and make plays with the legs and with his arm, correct? Mm-hmm. What Greg Cosell noticed by going back 3 years of films and watching Rodgers will actually take himself out of plays doing it. The play is set up, the wide receiver's there, it's open enough for a quarterback to make a throw, mm-hmm. but instead it's not open enough for Rodgers. The pocket breaks down, every once in a while he'll make it, well, most of the time he would make that play, but he saw fault in Rodgers not believing in the play call either. Taking himself out of the original play to create a new play.
Right.
That's not working anymore because the defense has figured that out. And that's one thing that Greg Cosell was saying that he did a lot in the Vikings game, that the short routes were open, he didn't want to throw into the tight windows. Mm-hmm. And especially after he threw that pick, it rattles him.
Well, the pick at the end of the game?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was the end of the game. That game was over after that. I'm just saying there was no coming back from that.
But he said he saw that picks like that rattled him before, where then he would then refuse to make those tight window throws.
I'm certainly not going to go against Greg Cosell on that. And I know exactly what you're talking about. He's on Colin Cowherd a lot.
All the time,
He's on all the time to break down film, which is, I always love that segment. But, so I'm not going to go against that. I also think that people put a little too much on the fact that he is so against throwing. I do agree. I know that's part of his game, is that he will rather let the play break down and create something than throw in the tight window and force a turnover.
Yeah.
But I think if this continues, is what I'm saying. If this play continues, I don't think he'll hesitate to start trying to make things happen. I don't.
Okay.
If the season's starting to go down, I'm saying we've never really seen him put in that position. So I guess I don't really have anything to go off of.
Right.
I would like to think that he would not be that way. Look, this is what I want to get to you because you'll appreciate this.
Okay.
Ultimately, I put the majority of the blame on Mike McCarthy.
Absolutely.
Okay. And the play calling as well, and that comes down to him, right?
Situationally terrible. Terrible.
Well, it's and it is kind of a situational thing. But it's more than anything. I'm not calling for his head yet. I'm not. I have way more respect for him than you do, and I think he's way better than you think he is. But it is becoming a problem, and I do put it on him as the head coach and the play caller. The lack of creativity with his plays nowadays, the lack of innovation that he has with his play calling. It's starting to show through. There was something that happened last year in that Denver game, Week 6, when they got killed. The Packers got crushed. It's been downhill since then. Something was discovered or something has been realized. Yeah, but again, you've had
A season.
You've had a season and an off season to come up with something more.
Yeah.
And this is what I feel like. I'm going crazy, and I feel like, he has that oversized like index card that he calls a play call sheet, right? Mm-hmm. There's like colors everywhere, and there's like lines all over it. It looks super complex, and you don't know what's going on there. And then I feel, and that's the side that you get to see on the screen, right? I feel like if we could flip it, I'm not kidding, I feel like it's a Tecmo Super Bowl screen, and there's 6 plays to call from, and it's just like lacy dive, back shoulder throw right, back shoulder throw left, screen pass,
and then play action deep.
Yeah, right. So like Rodgers is getting in the huddle like down B, like over A, like you know what I mean? And I can't. It's starting to really bother me now.
Yeah.
It is, man. You need to make an adjustment one way or another. They cannot continue to struggle like this, and it's even more frustrating being a Packers fan. Watching them go through the years they did after the Super Bowl, praying for a defense that could just be somewhat, somewhat respectable
Which
defense.
they have.
No, the last year and this year they've looked good. The run defense is legit.
Yes.
They held AP to 1.8 yards per carry before he got hurt. I don't think that was going to change. Their pass defense is still, whatever.
What's that guy Daniels you guys got in the middle?
McDaniels,
Stud.
Dude, he is. He's a beast. He really is. He's the best player on our defense, I think, right now.
I agree. Him and Clay. Clay moving back to the outside is a good move, too.
Absolutely, yes. And I think
as much as I can't stand Clay Matthews,
I think we all
he's good at what he does.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We all knew, and he filled in good for a middle linebacker not ever playing it. They're not fooling anybody anymore. No. Okay? And receivers are getting jammed and they're not getting open, and that's not on Aaron, but then it comes down to things like you were brought up, that he's not willing to take that chance on a play that he should. There was clearly miscommunication issues too last week. They've got a lot to clear up. Again, I'm not panicking yet. I'm really not. It's just, it's starting to piss me off now, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm also not seeing the Jordy route running and the Jordy top end speed, which they need to take the top off the defense too.
And I do hope
that might be something that could
breaking
come
in thing. And the last thing I like, and this is, I'm sure people have heard this, but since that Week 6 loss to the Broncos last year, Aaron Rodgers was the career passer rating leader in his career, right? 105, something like that.
Yeah.
He hasn't gone over 100 in passer rating since.
Yeah.
Something is wrong. Something needs to change, and so we'll see what happens.
Well, again, Week 2. We'll give our Week 3 thoughts coming up. To quickly go over the rest of the NFL, Steelers whomped on the Bengals.
Yep.
That's a pretty huge divisional clash right there, and somehow, Bengals just weren't cutting it.
And somehow A.J. Green and Antonio Brown didn't do anything for me in fantasy.
Well, 2 good defenses, but obviously the offense shined through for the Steelers still.
Dude. They had 6 points combined for me.
Yeah, Big Ben is really the big difference there, in my opinion. Jets-Bills, kind of a game of nobody's going to make the playoffs there the way those guys both. Bills look terrible at 0-2. They scored a lot of points on what was supposed to be a stout Jets defense.
Right.
Jets with getting production from 3 wide receivers. Bringing Ryan Fitzpatrick back was the best thing they could have done.
Yep.
If their defense sews it up, you never know, but they have a tough test this week coming up, which we'll talk about later. Other important games, Cowboys again look good offensively. They still gave up 23 to the Skins, even though it didn't look fluid.
Road game, divisional game.
Kirk Cousins was terrible.
Struggled us.
Threw that horrible pick in the end zone, which was just nasty.
Yep.
Giants and Saints was extremely underwhelming, but what it did show is the Giants' defense, the remodel they did this past offseason was legit. They held Drew Brees and the Saints to 13 points, which was pretty monstrous. Panthers, of course, took it to San Fran, even though San Fran is legit. I don't know what it is. They need a few more players.
But
they threw 17 on the Panthers.
Well, I'm saying
they're
not going to win the division.
No,
they're not going to.
But they have something to build on. I keep saying Bortles.
Yeah,
Blaine Gabbert does not look terrible. He doesn't look terrible.
No, he can run a little bit.
Right.
He can.
Pats are up to their old tricks, except Garoppolo got hurt.
Well, I was going to say this was kind of a big injury weekend, right?
You know what? I think the Pats could lose the next 2 games and not care, because Brady's coming back.
I think they're going to win.
I think they're still going to win anyways.
I do too.
Because there's just a system in place there. This is the difference between, like, say, the good teams. And I'm not saying it's to bash the Packers, but
I understand what you're going to say.
The Packers, what the Packers should be doing,
is
what the Patriots do. You know what I mean? So that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Texans look like to be a team to be reckoned with. They rolled over the Chiefs 19-12. Rams won without scoring a touchdown. So now 2 weeks, they haven't scored a touchdown, and they somehow beat the Seahawks, who have looked awful. Their offense is just
they are
inept.
Inept, right?
Yeah, terrible.
Right. That's a major concern for them. Obviously, they can't score points. No. Period. Their defense can be as good as you want, but if you can't put points up, so
Buccaneers laid a goose. I mean, they were terrible against the Cardinals. The Cardinals took it to them, and that was one of my upset picks. That did not work out well.
Yep.
Chargers with everybody hurt.
That was surprising.
Every week.
That was surprising.
Blew by the Jags because the Jags couldn't score for the first 3 quarters.
Yep.
Whatever that means. With that offensive talent, I don't know what the hell Blake Bortles is doing. Now, this kind of goes to what I was talking about with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz has that offensive coaching staff behind him. Blake Bortles has a defensive coaching staff behind him. He has really no support. He's doing it on his own.
Yep.
Falcons and Raiders, somehow the Falcons pulled that game out because the Raiders defense all of a sudden doesn't know how to play anymore.
It's annoying.
Yeah, Broncos did what the Broncos do. The Colts are a mess again. And then, of course, we already talked, Packers and Bears were completely underwhelming. And the Vikings, man, if Bradford improves in that offense and looks as good or better week to week, Vikings are a bit tough, man.
Right, and I will say this, and it could have been any team, and you're the one who brought it up to me the night of the game. We still only lost by 3 points.
Right.
Like in a really shitty game. Yeah. Like our offense looked as bad as the Seahawks. Like we did not look good at all, and we only won by 3 points. Or we only lost by 3 points.
But there were throws that
I understand what you were saying. Oh no, look, dude, he was. Look, I was the one. I wasn't ever bashing Bradford, but I certainly was the one saying I'm not scared of him, and I am not. Yes, that could lead to something significant for them. A consistent, steady quarterback. If he can stay healthy, which I thought he was going down when his bone was popping out of his so I thought that was going to kind of kick in again, but we'll see, man. I'm still not terrified of Bradford and them. And one of your biggest things was having AP as a security blanket.
No,
and he's gone now, so we'll see how that
looks like for the
out.
season.
And I don't necessarily need you to give me a pick, but do you expect the Bears to improve at all going into this next week? Who's playing quarterback? Is Cutler going to play?
Cutler was out today. It looks like he'll probably play.
Okay.
I mean, if he doesn't play again with the sprained thumb, I mean, for now I could care less whether he plays, but we're not going to be better with Brian Hoyer, so who cares? Okay. Who cares who's playing quarterback at this point? Throw a rookie in there for all I could. Just find somebody, Trade for Hundley or something for all I care. I'm
not going to be able to handle the Lions beating us at home again if that happens this week. So.
I don't know if that's going to... We'll talk about that in a bit. The Bradford thing also... The one other thing I also want to bring up, and we're watching it happen, which I really like, is Stephon Diggs is becoming a superstar.
Yeah.
He's going to be in that kind of ODB conversation if he keeps it up.
Right.
He's leading the league in receiving yards right now, and
I mean, I see that cooling off at some point.
I know, the Packers secondary was banged up. I get that, but he was so open on some of those plays, and then that touchdown catch was pretty fantastic. So I really do like Stephon Diggs.
Yes, no, he is good.
I really think he's a superstar. So, all right, when we come back, guess what? Badgers open their Big Ten schedule this weekend. They're going to go to Sparty, which is tough. Michigan State, who whooped up on Notre Dame. Notre Dame made a slight comeback in the second half, but really the game wasn't as close as the score led to be.
Hornibrook.
And we have Hornibrook starting, which I've been calling for since the red and white game. So when we come back, we'll talk Badgers and Michigan State. We'll be right back.